Started. Welcome to the Cybersecurity Essentials course. In this course, we are going to learn what are the basics that are needed to have a strong base in cybersecurity. So, like you can take it as your career. So, here are a few bits about myself. My name is Shubham Pandey. I have more than 5 years of experience in information security. In this period, I have worked on various vulnerability assessments and penetration testing assessments for various banks, financial institutions. We have performed penetration testing on their servers, all the networking devices, mobile applications, web applications, and APIs. So here are some of the certifications that I've done. It is starting with the certification in cybersecurity IQSPL. So in this certification, you get to know about the basics of like cybersecurity, what exactly hacking is, what you mean when they call it a white hat hacker or a black hat hacker or a gray hat hacker. What are all these terms? So all these things you get to know, I got to know about in this certification. Coming back to the second certification, it is CCNA security. So Cisco, as you know, it's like a known organization all over the world. In Cisco CCNA security, they teach you about the network security aspect. That is once before CCNA security, CCNA doing CCNA is mandatory. So you have to go through CCNA because in CCNA they'll teach you about the basics about the networking devices, about how you can configure routers, how you can configure switches, all that basic fun, like all these basic concepts they are taught in CCNA. And when you go to CCNA security, it is more about like how like now everything is configured, but now you how like you can secure it, right? So it's really a fun course. I will highly recommend these courses. The passing percentage in CCNA at the time I did it was around 80%. So you need to secure. Actually, it is 82.5%. So in 1,000, you have to secure 825 marks to pass it. And in CCNA security, I believe it was 87.5%. So their passing standards are a little higher, I'll say. But like once you go through the course, it's the like learning experience is really good. So talking about the third and fourth certification, both of these certifications were of Red Hat. That is a Red Hat System Administrator and Red Hat Certified Engineer. So in these certifications, you learn about what Linux is, how it works, what is the directory structure, how is the configuration done, how is the web server configured, right? All these things about what are the security implementations in Linux, what are the services. So all those things are like you go through in under these certifications. And again, this is like I was very excited while I was studying all these things. You'll never get bored. You always have like something new, and every day you explore like new ways about and new concepts. So and the best part is that it's not all theory. You can practically implement it. So like you know that whatever you are studying, things are working the way it is mentioned in the books. System is responding accordingly. So apart from these, I have taken multiple corporate sessions on trending topics on ethical hacking and discussed various intricacies about the new vulnerabilities. So the latest one and the most popular one that I would like to mention over here, it is regarding the SMB protocol that in 2017 it heavily costed IT companies at I believe in $1 billion was the financial impact. And whenever you have a financial impact, the reputational impact is also associated with it, right? Because next time your clients or your customers, they will not have the same faith in you. They will not have the same trust level on you. Well, like once you have lost their data, so it is really difficult to gain back the same level of confidence. So I've given talks on the SMB protocol, the ransomware that was responsible for all this damage. It was called as WannaCry ransomware, and it was hugely covered in media houses as well. A lot of news channels covered it. That WannaCry, like it was encrypting the databases of like big companies, and the attackers they were asking for ransom amounts, that okay, when you will give us this amount, only then we will decrypt your data. So again, it has a huge impact for the IT industry. So like the protocol was so common SMB that everyone, like in every almost every Windows system, it is present. So like when you vulnerability in such very basic protocol, a new vulnerability comes up, so it can have a severe impact. So I I loved giving the presentation on such topics. And let's come to what we have in this course. So what is included in cybersecurity essentials course? So in this course, while crafting this course, our focus was to bridge the gap, like the gap that when a person he plans to have a career in cybersecurity, and he tries to go for CEH, that is Certified Ethical Hacker, or ECSA, that is EC Council Certified System Administrator. What happens is that when he goes for all the certifications without any basic knowledge, he goes to trainings and he goes to classes, and whatever they teach the person over there, it is really difficult for the person to imbibe, because he has never like read about what these protocols are, how they work, what are ports, like absolute basics. The person with absolute zero knowledge, he has like it is a humongous task for him to like get on the same track on which the like trainer is teaching you up. So in this course, we have like it encompasses all the prerequisites that are needed for a person to strengthen base so as to go for some security certifications. So next question is like, why choose a career in cybersecurity? So there are a lot of careers available online. So why cybersecurity? So there is the first reason that I would like to give, like if you check 2019, 2020, 2021, on last 3 to 4 years, it has been one of the top 10 careers worldwide, like which has the best paying jobs, right? And I guess it's no more surprising, because the way the things are going on, the way everything is digitizing, our prime minister is saying that we have to become a digital India. So when you are going digital, and security aspect, it has to go along, because if it does not goes along, then even like you become digital, but it won't go for too long, because there are like there are persons, like in this we call them hackers, or like black hat hackers. So there are like malicious attackers who are ready to like attack your system. So you have to learn like how you have to prevent these things. So the average salary of cybersecurity specialist in US, it is $111,052 per year. Cybersecurity, as I mentioned, it has been a booming career in last 5 years and has unlimited growth considering the digital world we are living in. So this is, guys, I believe the gravity of this thing, like you all will understand in coming times as well. So the third thing is that cybersecurity essentials aids in bridging the gap between expectations and reality. Yeah. So this is, as I mentioned, that like whenever you're going for some course, this is something that will lay your foundation. So like if you want to pursue your career, so like you at least you'll be able to get like whatever other person is saying, or you will have an upper hand in your batch when you'll be going for such certifications. Okay, so now talking about some data, some statistics. So by 2021, there will be 4 million unfulfilled jobs in cybersecurity globally. Guys, 4 million, it is a huge number. When countries suffering from like such economic crisis, like I'm not just talking about India, but in fact the whole world due to this COVID thing. In such economic crisis, if there are some sectors that have like this kind of growth potential, then I believe this is something that needs to be seriously considered. As you can see, that total malware infection growth rate in millions. So it is something that has not like increased by say 10, 20, 30%. As you can see that from 2009 to 2018, the growth it has been exponential from $12.4 million to $812.67 million. And if you will see in 2019 and 20 as well, the figures have just increased, and there is no point that they will come down in any case, because the increase of digitization that is happening. Again, this is the 2019 report of the cost that companies are incurring for the data breach. Right, data breach is nothing that you have a database of your clients or customers, and some evil, attacker, some evil attacker, he steals your data, and maybe he will sell it on some dark web, or maybe he will ask the company that, okay, pay us this amount and then we will give it back to you, or something of that sort. So as you can see in physically 2019, $3.92 million only on data breach. Only on data breach, $3.92 million. And I will share with you some of the recent examples. Like recently, in last, I believe, couple of months, a data breach was reported in Domino's. Domino's, I'm sure, pretty sure that you all of guys must know what Domino's is. And there was a data breach, and I believe more than 40 for more than 40 terabytes of data was leaked. And when we are talking about text file, like 40 terabytes is, it's a huge number. It's a huge number. And what I'm saying is that more than 40 terabytes was leaked. So when it comes to like text data, 40 terabyte, guys, I'm telling you, it's really huge. Post, I guess a week back, like before the Domino's news came out, there was a news in Air India. In Air India also, this data breach happened, and like a lot of like person's data got leaked. Again, like, see, all these things are reputed companies. Air India, it is government owned airlines. Domino's, it's like Domino's, every like whole world knows what Domino's is. Even after having everything, after having like they must be having a very good team, but still the data breach is happening. So this is something that needs to be really considered about the cyber security, how you have to keep your systems more and more secure. Again, coming to phishing attacks is like one of the most common attacks, and maximum people fall like they fall prey for it. It accounted for more than 80% of reported security incidents. So phishing attacks is nothing that someone is mimicking a particular website. Suppose you have facebook.com, someone is creating an exact replica of facebook.com, and in the domain where it is facebook.com, suppose Facebook has like a BOOK. So maybe they will add an extra O. So they will make it as face B triple OK. And most of the time what happens is that user does not notices it. He opens this site, he enters his credentials, and the attacker gets it. And the question is that how user like, get redirects to this website. So most common method is via email. They will create a crafted email that is specifically designed for you as per your searches, or as per your online. They will check your interests, what your interests are. Considering that, they will compose a mail and they will send it to you to get all these details. Healthcare industry. So even health, it's not just the IT industry, it's the healthcare industry as well that have incurred like a healthy amount of loss. I'll say it is estimated to be $25 billion to ransomware attacks. And it is just ransomware attacks. It's not completing all type of cyber security attacks. They are specifically talking about ransomware attacks. And in only in 1 year, 2019, and the price is $25 billion. So guys, it's really a serious thing. So coming back to our course overview about what things are we going to cover in this particular course, what like we have for you. So starting with the first unit, that will be ethical hacking. Ethical hacking, in this unit I will be teaching you about what actually a hacking is. When someone says, okay, you hacked me, or like someone got hacked, what actually hacking means. What is whole and soul hacking? Like I will say one of the most viral word. They say the account got hacked, but what exactly hacking is? What are the different phases? So there is an organized approach to it. How attacker plans it, how he footprints his victim, how he takes the session of the victim account, and how he covers his tracks. So there is a predetermined 5 to 6 step process that an attacker usually follows. So all these things will be teased in unit first. Coming to the second unit, it is networking pillars. So in networking pillars, we are going to talk about the basics of the networking. So because so as to understand cybersecurity, I'll tell you broadly a couple of things there are that you need to know. So one of those things is networking. Then you have Linux operating system and commands, Windows again operating system and commands. What is the how Windows operating system works and what are the most common commands? See, the command database is huge, so you cannot mug up everything. But in this course, we are only going to discuss about what are the popular commands that are going to like get you through. So with practice, I'm sure that you'll explore other commands as well. So networking pillars unit, will be talking about what networking is, what is the typical the popular models we have, the OSI model, the TCP/IP model. Then what are the networking devices that are used, and how you can like get data from these devices. What is a port? How does a port scan work? How you can scan any website on the internet? How these things can happen? Then next we have understanding popular protocols. This is again, I'll say, a very good topic. Popular protocols. In this, we will be discussing some of the common protocols and about how they actually work. We'll be talking about some example I'm giving right now. We'll be talking about FTP. We will be talking about SMB. SMB protocol. If you remember, a couple of slides back, we discussed it. The same protocol was exploited for the WannaCry attack. So I'm sure you will be willing to see that how SMB protocol works and what was exactly the attack. So there were uh, since SMB protocol has come up, I'll be talking a little bit about the exploits that were used in that WannaCry attack. So there were three exploits that were used. It was Eternal Blue, Eternal Romance, and Eternal Synergy. So these three exploits were used in that particular attack, and all three exploits were targeting specific versions of SMB protocol. So when we'll be studying this, then we'll be discussing more in detail about how it works. And then Linux operating system concepts about how Linux works, how what are the different run levels, how what are the services, what are the like architecture about whole and so what is the directory structure that Linux has. Next, coming to popular commands, as I told you that we will be only be discussing the commands that really they deserve to be known when you are like working in cybersec. So the only the popular commands over here are scope will not be to make you a network admin or a Windows admin. Our scope will be more concerned about cybersecurity. So we'll be just discussing the commands that concern us. Again, for same goes for Windows as well. It is Windows operating system concepts and popular commands that need to be known. Next, we have footprinting and reconnaissance. So, guys, this is nothing but, and thus you get to know about your target more well, right? It can be in active ways, it can be in passive ways. Active ways are a little bit noisy, in which the target may get to know that someone is scanning him, and passive ways are absolute silent, and that the target will he has no way of figuring out that if someone is trying to get information about him. So we'll be discussing all those things in detail. Then we have Nmap, the Swiss Army knife. And this is my favorite tool, guys. I'm telling you, this is my. I love this tool. I really love like working on this tool because like it is so simple and at the same time it performs so sophisticated tasks. So again, there is a like complete book written on this tool, and again we'll only be covering about what are the most common uses of this tool. Then we have scanning networks, how you can scan network, what are the different tools that are involved in scanning. Apart from Nmap, there are various other tools that can be used for scanning. So we'll be discussing other options as well. Then it comes to enumeration. Enumeration, as the word tells, it is about getting more and more information about target. When we are scanning a target, then there are some ports and services. So we just want to know more and more about what ports are running, what services are running, what version is there. Is that particular version vulnerable? If it is, then we are going to look for exploits. The next comes is system hacking. In system hacking, guys, we're going to study about exploits, about what exploits are available, what are the different online databases that we can look for whenever we get some particular protocol. So the most common being exploit DB. If you go on exploit DB, it is the most trustworthy and most famous I will say, platform online that you can look for. Then it comes to sniffing. Sniffing is nothing but you are trying to get whatever is present in your local traffic. So there are tools using which you can sniff, and there are countermeasures as well, how you can prevent yourself from being sniffed. So we are going to discuss those things over here. Then we have denial of service. Denial of service is nothing but the system going down. As the word says, denial of service, that service is no more available. So it costs that the availability of service is not there. So we are going to discuss about what are the like further subcategories are. There is something as called as DOS. There's something called as DDoS. So how those things work, we are going to discuss that. Then we have session hijacking. Session hijacking, this is also like one of the attacks, I will say. It is very easy to perform if the victim is not person is not very careful enough. His entire session can be hijacked. So during the session, we are going to discuss about how you can do that. Then last but not the least, evading IDS, firewalls, and honeypots. So IDS is nothing but intrusion detection systems. Like whenever you are scanning some client, so they have their security systems. They have IDS that alerts them. Okay, someone is scanning us. So how you can evade that? Firewalls, I'm sure most of you know, as the word tells, firewall. So there is a wall of fire that's going to prevent you. So but thinking of as an attacker, how you can evade that or how you can bypass that we are going to discuss over here. Then last is honeypots. So guys, honeypots is nothing but in this case, the victim, or I will say as a company, I'll just create a honeypot. So I'm just luring an attacker. Okay, I have these ports and these services is open. So actually, it is not that I'm opening myself like more vulnerabilities. I'm specifically opening some ports and services, and I want to lure attacker so that I can track him better and I can like catch him up. Right. So this is also a very good approach about how you can prevent yourself, or like how you can keep your security, like how you can harden it up. So for more information, guys, please visit our website, that is emergingtechuniversity.com. That is the end of session. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you.